Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Time. I'm Sean. Alright guys, so let's start off with the biggest news this week. It was announced this week that during next week's episode of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer was going to premiere. And then yesterday, it leaked. Due to the nature of this being leaked like a week early, and it's going to be the actual trailer that comes out next week, and I watch Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anyway, I did decide to watch this. Like I said before, most of the time I don't like to look at leaked stuff just because it kind of ruins what's to come. But this is the trailer that they already planned on showing next week. So I was like, yes, let me watch it. And I loved it. I thought it was amazing. The first time I watched it, I noticed some of the things that Ultron's saying, and I was like, this sounds like something like the No Strings from Pinocchio kind of thing, song that he's like reciting, but he's doing it in a speech, like a monologue. And then I realized the second time I watched it that right in the middle of the trailer, the song actually comes on in the background. And I guess the first time I watched it, I was just too pumped and too excited that I didn't realize that the song actually played in the trailer. And so the trailer was really awesome, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. I can't wait to see it again next week on TV. And then today, it was on YouTube being advertised by Marvel, so I'm assuming they're not going to be taking it down. I think they're just going to leave it up. Now, from the point of view of Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on TV, they probably could have used this trailer premiering during the episode, because then a lot more people would have watched the episode. At least in my mind, I think they would have gotten a bigger market share of viewers than what they've been at lately. So I think that hurts that show a little bit, but at the same time, just based on the trailer and for the movie Avengers Age of Ultron, I just think this is an awesome tone that is being set in the trailer. You know that they're gonna have, you know, some of their comedy in there, their natural comedic wit that comes from certain characters in the franchise, in the film. But the trailer does a great job of setting up a sense of defeat in this trailer with how Ultron is speaking. James Spader, his voice sounds awesome coming out of Ultron. Like, it is how Ultron should sound. Every time I picture him, you know, coming off in a movie, and I would watch the cartoons or read comics, this is like the perfect embodiment of how Ultron should sound. The trailer, like I said, it sets a great tone, and we know that there's gonna be comedy, like I said earlier, but this is gonna be a new type of Marvel film. I have a feeling it's gonna have a little bit more seriousness in it, and I just can't wait. This trailer's got me raring to go. We're just over 6 months out from this movie. I honestly really hope that we don't get another trailer up until probably next year. I kind of hope that they pump the brakes and kind of leave us wanting more. That's what I really want from this film. So I will put a link down below to Marvel's YouTube posting of the trailer. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really psyched. Let me know if you guys are as well, or if you're more of a DC fan. Speaking of DC, it's been announced that Cyborg, Ray Fisher, he will be appearing in not only his own film in 2020, but he's also going to be appearing in both Justice League films. As I spoke of previously, DC and Warner Brothers, they announced their slate of movies that they plan on coming out with over the next, I think, 6 years. So this is good news that they are making plans to have him in other films. With this news, I'm hearing a lot of talk from other people in the movie industry saying, like, it's so good to see that DC's finally got a plan and this and that. And in my head, I'm hearing them say this, and I see the fact that they've announced titles, but I don't really see that as a plan. I really want to see where they go with Batman vs Superman, and I want to see what they start developing, because as of now, they just kind of have an outline, and I don't see the plan. When I start seeing maybe 2 or 3 more movies, and I see where these movies are heading, how they're connected with the other movies, then I'll start saying, like, okay, they do have a plan. As of right now, all I know is that they've said that they've got people signed and they're releasing movies. But any of that can change at any time if they make one mistake, like the Green Lantern, where it might make a good amount of money, but it is terribly reviewed. So a lot of things up in the air. It's nice to see DC and Warner Brothers, like, at least, you know, putting themselves out there, but they still got a long ways to go before I agree with some other pundits about it being a plan. So I guess the other part, the biggest news that I heard of this week, it has to do with a horror movie, The Conjuring. The Conjuring was pushed back to 2016, and it was going to be replaced in 2015 by an unnamed horror movie. Now, when this was announced, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, there was no reason given why it was pushed back. Yesterday it was announced that the reason it was pushed back is because they're getting the original director of The Conjuring, James Wan, back to direct the second one. That's great news. James Wan is one of those directors in horror that has actually had some staying power. He's been able to launch multiple horror franchises. He's been successful with these franchises. And not only that, he's been able to transcend horror and leave and do other movies. Like right now, he's working on Fast and Furious 7. I really think that this is a good move for James Wan. Going back to this movie, this really successful movie, really good horror movie, and kind of, you know, growing with it, helping it grow, and hopefully it'll become into an even bigger successful franchise. With this news, there are rumors abound, and again, I like to take a lot of rumors with a grain of salt. Do not take them just by their word, because they're rumors. So some talk I've heard is that possibly because the parent company that owns New Line, I think New Line's the company that's developing and distributing Conjuring 2, is that Warner Brothers is trying to lock in James Wan. He has a relationship with some of the people already working in now the DC universe, big names like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So a lot of people have been saying that Warner Brothers wants to lock him down for this one, give him this film, and then give him an even bigger film like a DC movie, maybe Shazam. So I think the rumor mill is going like crazy, and I think some of these have some, you know, they do have some standing, I guess you would say, because they aren't entirely tasteless rumors. They do seem like they could be true. But for now, the big news that is definitely happening, James Wan going back to Conjuring I think this is a good move, and I'm really excited to see what they can do with the second film coming out in 2016. Last bit of news today is regarding the Terminator reboot, Terminator Genesis. In an interview released this week, James Cameron stated that he had given advice to Alan Taylor, the director of Terminator Genesis, some advice on where to go with the story and kind of some of the things that they could do with an older Arnold Schwarzenegger in this film. He said Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator is not entirely mechanic, that the actual skin, it's logical. So the fact that Arnold now is older than he was in Terminator 1, Terminator 2, do things with his character to match how he looks now, to be able to make things believable. Cameron said it is biological, his skin and everything, so it could grow old, it could age, and because the Terminator has a processor and it is an AI, it could learn throughout the years that it's been on Earth, and you know, maybe it's not found its mark, maybe it somehow had some wires crossed, something happened, and maybe it's somehow just stuck here on Earth and lives with humans for 30-40 years. That'd be pretty awesome. I really like this idea, and I hope that Alan Taylor and everybody else that's helping him direct this movie and make this movie kind of go with this. I really like this plot point. That with Arnold in this movie, they don't have to do a bunch of CGI to, you know, make him look younger like Jeff is in Tron Legacy. I really hope that they don't have to, you know, put a ton of makeup on him. I kind of hope that he looks like he looks. Dude's still yoked like crazy. If you watched Sabotage or Last Stand, he still is in really good shape. And I really hope that they're able to build off of this plot point and really take James Cameron, the reason the Terminator franchise is so big, I really hope that they could take his advice and put it to good use. So there were a few trailers that caught my attention this week. Above all, like I said earlier, the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer. Check the link down below, tell me what you think. Just caught my attention. First off is the top 5 trailer starring Chris Rock. He's playing a comedian in this film, and I really think that this is going to play well to his acting abilities, considering that he is a comedian. And he's been really funny in the past, and this kind of might be like a funny people type of movie with Adam Sandler, kind of replicating certain little bits and pieces of their lives of how they used to be comedians. And I think he can really just, you know, feel free to do whatever he wants in this movie, and he'll feel natural. And I really have high hopes for this one. I at least as a comedy, I think that it's gonna be pretty good. The trailer is Insisious Chapter 3. First Insidious. I haven't seen the second Insidious yet, so I am a little bit lost as to where the movie might go from wherever it's been left off. I did like the idea of Insidious. I liked the movie, the first one, and I do think this one can be successful as well. In theaters this week, there are movies that have caught my attention. 2 that I see and 1 that I don't, but it's just so funny that it's actually out there in theaters this week. Off this weekend, I definitely want to go see John Wick. I'm hearing nothing but great reviews of this film. I'm hearing that it's a great time at the theater. This is one of the best action movies in a long time, and so I'm really looking forward to this. If this can be up there with the Raid 2, which came out earlier this year, I am going to be very happy. This one looks great. It looks great. It looks like Keanu Reeves is back, and like he says in the trailer, oh yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. I really am excited for this film. The second movie that I want to see this weekend is St. Vincent. I don't know if it's going to be playing at any of the theaters near my house because this is a bit of a smaller movie, but I am looking forward to it. Bill Murray looks funny as heck in this one. Melissa McCarthy is playing a straighter role in this film, more than she's ever done before than I can remember. So I'm really interested in this one, and I just want to see what Bill Murray can do, see what he got in him still. Film that's in theaters this week that's more comical to me than anything is the movie Ouija. Really not anticipating much out of this one. I don't think this movie has 1 week and 1 week only to make its money, because next week Saw Anniversary, the 10-year anniversary edition, comes out in theaters. So this movie has 1 week to get its money, and other than that, I think it's not going to do anything after that. I think it's going to probably drop to 5 or lower after next week. So this Halloween craze right now, and hopefully get a lot of their money this week. I don't think it's going to be super successful. If it is, well, shoot, it is Halloween time. That's it for Movie Time this week. Remember to stay tuned for Movie Time Movie of the Week. Click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions in the comment section. Let's have a great conversation this week. We'll see you next time.